One of the wisest kings that ever lived knew he did not have all the answers. And when he just started out in leadership, he was asked a question about his greatest desire. I want to talk to you today about what he said and how you can learn from that as a new or aspiring politician. I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Chung, a political leadership strategist, author of the book Political Change, and president for Kenley College, where we provide leadership training and strategy for new and aspiring politicians. You may have heard about the king I'm going to be talking about. He was called King Solomon. Now, the interesting thing about King Solomon was he didn't ask for an ever-expanding kingdom. He didn't ask for the death of all his enemies. He didn't even ask to reign for an extended period of time. What he wanted was to have discernment in how he judged and to know the difference between right and wrong when he was making rulings on behalf of his people. The humble posture he took to be in a position of servant leader is what positioned him to be one of the greatest kings that ever lived. It wasn't about the words he said. You could say, well, of course, anybody would say they want to govern well. They want to make the good choices. They want to administer justice on behalf of the people. It wasn't what Solomon said. It was Solomon's heart. It was Solomon's subconscious thinking that made him different from every other king at the time. He wanted to lead well. He wanted to be a servant leader. And by being a servant leader, he knew he would be a good king. What I found interesting about Solomon as he's just getting started out was not just what he was willing to say, this is the help I need, but to recognize what he didn't know. See, as you're getting started out in this whole political arena, as I like to refer to it, you may find yourself comparing your beginning to someone else who has a whole lot more years of experience to their ending. You can never compare your beginning to someone's ending. In fact, it reminds me of a poster I bought years ago, and it simply said, "The expert in anything was once a beginner." Now, I'm not saying that you're going to ever be an expert in political decision making, but I am going to say, I want you to appreciate your beginnings. Don't be harsh on yourself with your beginnings. Recognize, do an assessment. What do I have? What do I know? What do I bring to the table? Who do I need to align with? Who do I need to learn from? I want you to appreciate your beginnings because you beginning in politics takes a lot of courage. And there are a lot of people who have solutions. They have the answers, but they don't have the courage you have to even begin. King Solomon knew he was going to be faced with some difficult choices. Difficult decisions come in the arena of politics. But you realize if you've got a teachable attitude, it's going to make a big difference. And to have a teachable attitude, you start with a place of humility to admit you don't know everything, even when you're the king. To admit that he didn't know everything would be a confession. And they say confession is good for the soul. But just confessing or admitting that you don't know everything is not enough. You got to take another step. What's that other step? Asking for help. Asking for help from someone who knows more. Asking for help from someone who has walked this road before. Asking for help from someone who knows what it takes. And they have proven that they know how to lead a nation well. Wouldn't it be wise if you admitted you don't really know how to handle the magnitude and the weight of the responsibility that's been put on your shoulders in politics? That is not admitting that you're inadequate. That's simply admitting that you need help. And when you're in leadership, admitting that you need help is actually a sign of strength. And wouldn't it be wise if you sought out wisdom for governing the people well? Wouldn't it be wise that instead of pretending that you've got all the answers, you know all the solutions, and you know what is right from wrong in this arena, that you said, maybe I need some help. Maybe there's a source that has the information, that has the knowledge that I need. And oh, wouldn't it be wise if you sought out the source to help you grow in wisdom and discernment for administering justice so that you truly could serve the people well? The right mentorship and training is a great starting point for being a principled, purposeful leader in government and politics, making those choices that not everybody wants to be faced with, but yet you know you don't have a choice to make the choice. So if you are looking to be a better decision maker for government and politics, you can join our Certificate in Government and Political Leadership program. It's an accredited program that we offer at Kenley College. And when people come through that program, they don't just get ideas of decision making, they learn principles for decision making, principles that are time tested leadership principles. Well, I'll put a link to it in the description just in case you want to learn more. That's it for today, folks. It's been a pleasure being with you. I hope you'll join me next time. Bye now.